Well, to start, USA, TCU senior night. What a great opportunity for our team to keep growing and getting better. Excited to honor Jack. He's been a part of our program since we've been here, and he's just been an everyday guy for us. Literally shows up every day trying to help our team win. So that's going to be awesome. And then Tyree and Donovan, both those guys being seniors, and then we've got several managers I'm excited to honor. So be a great night, a great game, and excited to see our team continue to improve.
10 top 25 battles, tough wins on the road, in neutral site, at home. This team is battle tested. Why is this team at where you want them to be, or still have growth left?
Well, when you start the season, and I think people are seeing it now, we made this schedule because we felt like we did have one of the best teams in the country. And that includes Josiah, Luke, Mariel being in the mix with JT and Christian and those guys that everybody sees play on a nightly basis. So, I mean, if you have those guys from the beginning, you could see where this schedule really would have been perfect for what we were doing. And what I'll say about this group in this time of year, a lot of teams are finding ways to be done. I hate to say it, but they're just tired. They've been around the same guys, and I think our team really is practicing with the most energy that I've felt all season long. And that's a lot of fun and says a lot about where our team is and where we can grow and continue to get better.
What does this team need that challenge?
Well, I mean, they've been winning. So, I mean, 6 of their last 7 games they've won. They're 8 of their last 11. I mean, they're on a run, and they're physical, like crazy physical. Punch, Edmonds. I mean, those 2 guys around the rim. They're not shooting a great percentage, but they're scoring, and they're doing it with elite physicality and offensive rebounding, and it's impressive. I mean, it really is, and to see them put pressure on teams the way they are with their rebounding and the way how hard they're playing, Coach Dixon's done a tremendous job. So you got to start with their physicality and how hard they play defensively.
Is this team getting healthy at the right time? You got Josiah now, Luke, Mariel. You've got your team.
Well, it's the first conversation I have just about every day is with Mike Neal, our trainer. So it's been a regular occurrence this year, and he did say, like, man, we're in a good spot right now, and obviously in some ways we're not in a great spot because we don't have JT. That's the truth of this, but considering who we have available, everybody is moving in a really great direction, and we don't have any reason to think that we can take a step back. I mean, this feels like everybody's really healthy.
Last one for me. You've been able to, without JT clogging the middle, been able to space and being able to lob. How has another game more success with the lob and being able to implement that going to help you as you come to?
Well, we played some really good defenses. I mean, Cincinnati and Iowa State are 2 of the better defenses in our league. And you can add TCU to that mix. They're right there with them. I mean, it's just the size around the rim and the effort of their guards. We know that confidence is built when you share the ball against great defenses, and that's where we've built confidence, is our ability to trust each other to make the right play. And when we do that in our hearts to make other people better, we play great basketball because we've got plenty of guys that can score. Yeah, it's fun to see how close this team is, and I think that's the most difficult part of the transfer era that we're in, and how quickly, never before in the history of our game have people been able to transfer in league and play right away and do it every year if they wanted to. I mean, that's wild to think that a person could play on 5, possibly 6 different teams consecutively and in the same conference, and that's wild. And so what I think is so important about Donovan and Tyree is they've been here for a season, but I think if you watch them interact with the Red Raiders and you watch them interact with each other, you would think that they were here for 4 years, and that's awesome. I mean, they kind of have a weekly dinner group that goes out to eat, and some of them were here watching the Lady Raiders finish off a great season, and they just spend time together. So when I see them not in our facility, they're together. That's awesome. And so a credit to Donovan and Tyree for just being not great basketball players only, but great people and great teammates. And I think that's what's allowed us to have the success, and says a lot about both those guys as people.
Now, obviously, it's March. You couldn't predict what happened to JT, but is this kind of what you expected from your team kind of starting the season?
Well, what I always hope with our teams and with this team specifically is that we would have the right competitiveness when it mattered the most, and we would play for each other when it mattered the most, that we would be as excited to play basketball and compete when it mattered the most. And March is the most significant time for college basketball, and goes into April now, and fun to see. And I think the heart behind it being, how do you keep getting better on this journey, and how do you continue to care about the people that you get to do life with, and to say that we're at a great place is accurate.
You mentioned it a little bit, but just kind of the last couple of weeks, does it seem like there's like a different energy and kind of there's some newness to this whole thing where you're not starting from scratch from like when you are in October, but there's nuances to everything where everybody's kind of like, this is fun to kind of figure out different things.
Yeah, I think our team has gone through enough adversity at this point that our guys aren't blinking at that. That's probably my favorite part of where we are. I mean, I'm just talking about even Josiah, because when he first started practicing, he and Luke got back, they still looked at me like this is a lot, and now it's not a concerned look, it's a look of intent. And that's where I'll tell you is great about this group. No one's having, I would say, insecure, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I mean, honestly, it feels like everybody's leaning into, like, this is what we're doing together, and I know my role, and I can get better at it, and we can do this thing in a way that is just can be special. And that's fun to see the growth in there. And that's where I think the newness of it sometimes can be a negative, because everybody's trying to figure out what they do. Where I'll tell you we're at right now, we're at a place where we understand what we need to do to be successful. Now can we practice it every day in a way that you can have confidence when you play? And our confidence has grown immensely in the last 3 games.
Do you think to kind of your aspect of it, it helps force your hand a little bit where you have to rely on guys in certain spots where you didn't have to before, but now you got to throw them in. Hey, go do what we're asking you to do. Maybe it's a minute here, sort of thing.
Well, there's definitely some truth to our need to play guys as giving them more confidence. But if we would have been able to practice these guys together, we would have grown this in a way that made sense. But when you grow it in a way that you don't have hardly anybody available, and then you get in real games in the Big 12 and you're trying to acclimate somebody, it's so hard. And especially when they can't practice going into it. And so I think you can say a part of it is the way this has happened to JT is fast forwarded it, but I was telling y'all, I felt great about our team in these practices. And I felt like we were moving in the right direction in our ability to play them. But I think what people are seeing, and that what I am happy for these guys, is people do get to see their talent, and there's plenty of talent. It's just a matter of experience, and they've been forced into some experience, which has had their growth happen rapidly, which probably is a positive for our team and their ability to contribute. But we always had confidence in them.